Good evening, guys. Um, I hope you had a good day today. If not, then I'll do my best to cheer you up with some poetry. So, I'm not gonna waste anybody's time from me babbling and stuff. We're just gonna go straight into the poem. So, I recommend you listen to this poem right before you sleep to get the best experience right before you fall asleep. This is also a good poem for if you're doing some meditation practices and some calming exercises. Um, Now, this should be a long poem today. This is 12 stanzas long. Um, so, here you go. The poem is titled The Cold Servant. There's a cold hearted guy. He harassed the mayor of a town with absolute no reason as to why. Then came the man with the crown. The mayor invited the cold man inside. Then he gave the cold man an order. He'd be forced to be on the mayor's side so that his bad deeds will all be over. The cold one objectively refused, saying he would never deserve it. The guards came in and had him removed, quite restive, like a hypocrite. He was pushing the mayor's patience. Then the cold one became his servant. He worked hard in building a fence and other tasks while in an internal rant. He prepared certain things for the mayor, like making dinner for him and his guests. The mayor made him be a debt payer, as well as a few other requests. The mayor appealed to everyone more, with the help from the cold-hearted man. The cold one had something he'd swore. The mayor reluctantly said he can. The cold servant promised him one thing. Once he goes on, the mayor will fall. Once they learn about the truth that brings, the mayor will lose popularity from all. The mayor laughed it all off in front of him, claimed to the cold one that it was bogus, even though that unbeknownst to him that it would all in fact not be bogus. As time went on, things were dire. The cold servant was slowly wilting. His mouth and eyes were drier. The mayor was the one he was guilting. As he worked, he saw all the people. He saw them interacting with one another. He was self-aware from the people. They were all seeing him in wonder. The harder he worked, the weaker he was. At the same time, however, he got warmer. He felt more joyous than he originally was. Slowly, his vision became blurrier and blurrier. He then died peacefully of exhaustion. But for the mayor, things were worse. He was talked down like being in a pen. The cold servant was right about the curse. The isolated mayor was in disbelief. He was all alone in a town of grief. So that's the poem. Now I'll give you guys a little backstory about the poem. So, this poem was basically inspired by the formation of Saturn's rings, the planet Saturn. Basically, before the rings, Saturn had an extra moon, that was made of ice, and then suddenly it broke apart by Saturn's gravity, and then it formed the rings that we have today. But then we realized that Saturn was slowly losing its rings. And then, in like a few billion years or whatever, Saturn will lose its rings forever. So, this poem was basically a giant metaphor about Saturn's rings. So, that's it. Um, if you like the poem, I suggest you give it a like and subscribe and turn on the notification bell because I would very much appreciate that. And hopefully, we'll see each other again soon. Good night.